What's up, everybody? This is Concrete Zebra with Craftmaster Productions and Studio One Tutorials.com, and today we're doing the top 5 VSTs of 2016. What's up, everybody? This is Concrete Zebra with Craftmaster Productions and Studio One Tutorials.com. Today we're going to be going over the top 5 VSTs of 2016, a little special for the end of the year. And these aren't necessarily VSTs that were created in 2016. These are just the VSTs that I've been, really just using in pretty much everything, different stuff that I've come across, and we'll just go into it right now. And this is my opinion. You guys can think whatever you want, but for number one, for just my basic, just Swiss Army knife / bazooka / nuclear warhead is Omnisphere 2.2. Omnisphere 2, and it is, just it's fucking beast, bro. Like, what can I say? First of all, the organizer in this thing is amazing, and I think my favorite thing about Omnisphere is I can go to my favorite patch, right? And so I'll have this bell sound right here, right? That's just, and say I really like the way that sounds, but I'm tired of using this bell patch over and over again. I don't want all my beats to have this bell patch in it. You can click this sound match button right here, and then it'll give you patches that sound similar to it. Oh, that shit sounds so low though. So it'll give you similar vibes. Which to me, that is just that is so indispensable. On top of that, this synth, you can make just any sound in this synth. When you go from all the possibilities, it has something very similar to another plugins that's on the list, where you have all these different classic waveforms that were taken directly from all of these legacy, vintage, just famous synthesizers. And if you have an inkling of what synthesis is, you know that it's all about the waveform, especially subtractive synthesis, the waveform, and then how you filter that and take things away from it. So having a virus triangle and a virus sign, basically what that lets me know is I've got virus bass on this thing, without having to spend the $2,000 on a virus. For you guys that don't know about hardware and know how much that this stuff costs. So even at the $500, it's still such an incredible value, once you really get to wrapping your mind around what you're really getting for this thing. And that's just and that's just on the waves. When you start getting into the different sample options that that you have for this thing, these aren't presets, guys. These are just legit samples that you can use as oscillators to kind of to kind of start your own patches with. And so, you have all these, you have your category type, you could search them by source. And once you get really into the, really get comfortable with the browser, all these different options that you have in Omnisphere just become a lot less daunting. And I feel like that's the main problem that, guys who get, a VST like Nexus, and it's just dance expansion, and then 60 dance type presets, and then you get something like Omnisphere, and there's so many things in it, and you're not used to having to narrow things down with maybe a more intricate database. Once you get used to navigating through that, and you use the sound match, and you get comfortable with the different libraries, you'll be well on your way to just completely going through this thing. Now, another caveat that I would like to add about Omnisphere is, I've been telling y'all ever since I started this channel about Omnisphere, and I've kind of just made it a thing where, I'm just like, yeah, it's a nice thing to have. But it's for for modern trap and the way things are going right now, dude. Like it's becoming a necessity, bro. Like them old detune saw leads that everybody was arpeggiating in Nexus. Like that shit's old, bro. You know what I'm saying? The dance orchestra pack is old. The Hollywood orchestra brass horns, dark power brass, all that shit's old, dude. Like nobody wants beats with those sounds in them anymore. People want those trippy pianos. People want let me get this out of here. If you guys have ever wondered where like that Metro 808 Mafia piano comes from, where you've got this type of vibe. Oops. That's it right there. It's literally the first preset under the keyboards menu, the ambient space piano. It's like the most popular fucking trap piano right now. So it's everybody like all the old Nexus people, and all the new up and coming producers, they're all gravitating towards this. This is the new must have. It's not a luxury synth anymore. So whatever you got to do to discipline yourself to be able to get yourself $500 to buy this year, because you're gonna want to buy it. You don't want to crack this shit and wind up getting pinged on the internet, and then they blow up your crack, and then all your new amazing beats that you used with the crack to make this are gone because you got a crack with a time bomb in it or something like that. Just focus. If you got to save $20 a week, $5 a week, $10 a week, whatever you need to do, because this synth right now, like Omnisphere 1, it was it was riding out, I think, for like 6, 7, 8 years before it got updated. Nexus has been a staple since 2007. It's 2016, so Omnisphere 2 came out a year and a half ago. The life cycle on this thing is if those trends are any indicator, is another 8 years. So even if it takes you a year to buy this thing, it's still worth it, man. The next synth, I mean, I could talk about that synth all day. The next synth is that I've been using a lot this year is Elektra X, and this or Elektra 2 rather. This synth right here, when I first got it, I didn't really understand what I had, and now dealing with it, it is just like so much wow, dude. Like this thing has 3 oscillators, but then you could add another I guess they call it synth 1, synth 2, synth 3, synth 4. So you can have another 3 oscillators here, and then another 3 oscillators on synth 3, and then another 3 oscillators on synth 4. So you can stack 12 oscillators, and then the oscillator choices that they have for you between using wavetables, the ultrasaws, or you can bring in your custom wave, or you can draw your own custom waves. Like, this thing is so crazy how intricate you could get with the sound design, yet it's only one page. That's what I really love about this thing, because Omnisphere, on the other hand, it's you have a tendency to need to dive into the menus, but this synth right here, it's very simple. It's kind of reminiscent of like Massive to me, just with a much more attractive GUI, and it just, the way this thing lights up so that you have a visual cue of which synth panel you're on, and just the different effects that you can use is really amazing. On top of that, the presets are fire. Especially again for different type of trap type stuff. If you're looking for those darker, more round tones, you can find them in this synth. Just them weird type of plucks and things like that. This is what this synth I find is really like capable of producing very quickly. And that's and these are, I mean, dude, these are the presets. It's got so many presets like this. It's got the leads are big and bad. They have the your that type of stuff. The glide leads in here are really good. I'm not gonna like go through all the presets. I'm just gonna talk about what I really like about it. The atmosphere section in here, I've been using the shit out of this for just putting textures and sample beats right here. I mean, this guy right here, the Ether Realities, I'll use that like turned all the way down on pretty much almost every sample track I make, and it just adds a fullness in the high end that isn't there because we filter out that section of the samples to get the hi-hats out and things like that, and this will add that frequency back in and give it that shine of that's like reminiscent of like the old Just Blaze Rockefeller tracks and stuff like that. So this is just another synth that just does, the presets are phenomenal because they show the power of this synth, and they really go the extra effort into not just using like single layer plucky presets, but they really showed their ass with designing these presets. And then on top of that, it's just the synth. The synth itself sounds so good, and it has so many capabilities that and the stuff is just it just works so much better with with the type of music that's out. And the last thing I'll say about it is this, because it's such an easy to use synth, this I've noticed is the synth that contemporary sound designers who do urban music, sound designers that I like and trust, like guys like Adam McCree and God, what's the other dude who's on YouTube, Beat Buffs, making really great presets for this. So even if you're not into sound design and you don't want to get into sound design, this is the next synth that people are going to begin to program for. And this list is really, the way that I'm thinking about this list and the way that I'm putting together my workflow in 2016 going into 2017 is, what's next? We know Nexus, we know Silence, we know Massive, and we know that people make a bajillion presets for that, but what's the next one that's going to catch on? What's that next sound? And I feel like Omnisphere, Elektra, and this next synth Serum is, these are, as far as synthesized sounds, these are the ones that are gonna, that are gonna take us through, this next decade from 2017 up until 2025. These are the big three that we're gonna be using. A Serum, you can go on any site like ADSR or something like that sells Splice, that sells preset packs, and just get so many different preset packs. This thing is a wavetable synth. So you have again, just all these different waves that you can use to get whatever sound that you want. On top of that, there are just so many different custom third-party wavetable sources that say you didn't have the money for an Omnisphere, right? And you're just like, yo, Zeebs, like, there's no way I could get an Omnisphere. I'll never figure out how to save $500. That's an impossibility. I mean, it's just so much money. All right, since you're a bitch and you can't figure out how to save your money, Serum is the answer for you, because Serum right now is, if you go to splice.com, they have a $9.99 fucking like lease to own deal where you just pay $9.99 until you pay the synth off. I think this thing's like $179 or something. And then once it's paid off, it's yours. So it's not like it's not like Pro Tools or like Creative Cloud or the East West stuff where they just keep on, whopping you in the head over and over every year for for hundreds of dollars. No, you pay up until the final price. You can get rid of the pirated version, so you can have all the updates. And that's the thing, if you guys, if you're the type of person who if you've never paid for a plugin for a VST, make Serum your first one. Okay, make Serum your first one, pay the $9.99, and I want you guys to experience the feeling of owning the actual plugin, because it puts you in a different mentality when you actually invest $150 $200 into a VST. You're not just gonna let it sit there. It's not just gonna be like I can always tell people who hack Omnisphere, because they're like, yeah, I got Omnisphere, but I don't really use it. There's no way you spend $500 on something and you don't really use it. The reason why I learned how to use Omnisphere is because I spent $500, and there was no way I wasn't gonna find the sounds in there that worked for my genre. And that's why a lot of people give up on that plugin. And that's how you could tell who's real about this shit or not. Same thing with Serum. And I feel like if you guys who haven't spent any money, make the commitment, do the payment plan, pay it off. I mean, you get to use it as you're paying it off, which is amazing. This is gonna really help you guys with learning synthesis, because then you're gonna want to go on YouTube and be like, oh, okay, how do I make this sound? This VST reminds me of Silent in that you've got the two oscillators, and you just kind of start with something like you've got this saw wave here, and you just go to the octave and turn it down maybe, and then you add some, you change the unison, mess with the detune. A little bit, maybe play with this knob, and then maybe you add another oscillator and you pick a you just pick a random one and see what this does, and then maybe you detune this a little bit. Bring the octave down one. Maybe add a filter. And then you just bring it to the effects, throw a reverb on it. I just feel like it's one of those one of those synths that if you just start messing with buttons and start adding effects much in the way that Silence was, you can come up with a half-ass decent sound not knowing anything. So imagine if you took the time to watch 4 hours worth of Serum tutorials, over the course of a month. You might actually turn into somebody who can begin to design patches on their own, or at the very least understand the synth enough to alter the presets in such a way that they become your own. And there's a big sense of accomplishment that comes from that, because that is the ultimate way to create your own sound, and express yourself fully through music. The next thing that I got is something that happened recent, and I've just been so blown away by the sound of this. I mean, it's Spectrasonic, so you knew it was going to be fire, but dude, Keyscape is like, that is so crazy how just you can hear the hammers coming back up from the sounds. Like this LA Custom C7, I feel like I don't have to, the variations that they have, like you go from that, this is the same piano sampled, but they just played it in different articulations and and ran it through different processes. But you go from that bright sound to this. I mean, dude, how many thousands of Travis Scott beats can you make with like that piano? It's crazy. Then you get into the Rhodes. Crazy. And then you get into the stuff that I mean, you have the action, not the LA Roads. You have your more classic MK1 vibes. Just crazy. They got whirlies in here. Then they have like these duo mashups where they'll take two patches and layer them together, which is always fun. You know. Oh, this shit is crazy. The MKS20. Where the hell is that? Like, dude, this just I couldn't believe they had this in here, man. This is just so 90s. Like how you have that in there, dude? That is awesome. Like, are you kidding me? Yo, somebody find me Mariah Carey right now. Like, seriously, straight up 90s digital roads. So many. There's so much crazy shit. So, it's just these presets go on and on. They sampled so many different things. It's one of those super detailed libraries that is just completely unfuckable. I'm gonna go ahead and call this the luxury synth of the bunch. It's not something that you really need, but it ain't tricking if you got it. The next thing I'm going to talk about is, this is something that is little known, but it should be better known. This is a contact library from studiosounds.com. It is called XO The Overdose Volume 1. It is made with like that whole weekend Toronto vibe and in mind. And the thing is that I really like about it, and I want to show you guys. Oh, where is it? There we go. Is this atmosphere and pad section? Is they went ahead and programmed 109 different atmospheres and pads into this, and this is my main go-to for just really aggressive, like detuned textures that I put into different songs. This reminds me of like Damage from Native Instruments, but like an updated version of Damage. And I'll play you a couple of them. I'll show you why. But just stuff like that is just so necessary when you're when you're going ahead and making tracks, and you need to add different texture and noises. That's something that I've been showing a lot on the channel, and how much of a difference it makes in your tracks, because it's something that's subtle, but it's something that mostly all professionals use. So you would never use those sounds to be the head of a beat, but you think about them more like layers that you can add, over, different bass lines or different samples, and it's really good. They have different, they've got like plucks in here. They've got plucks, EPs, pretty much anything you need to make that type of track. But the reason why I use is again, it's for those 102 different atmospheres. And when you start to really get into using textures, and you understand the importance of it, you'll really see the value of that particular contact library. If you're not at that point with your productions, and you're still like struggling to put together chord progressions and melodies that make sense, that isn't going to be something that I would rush out to get. This guy right here, the Voxa, this is put together by Echo Soundworks. It is on adsr.com. I think it's like $50 or less. And oh my God, I love this contact library, because I like to add the EDM pitch vocals to my different tracks. And instead of having to like take a vocal and put it into sample one and go through the pitching and stuff like that, which whenever I do it, it never sounds as good as when these guys do it. I mean, they've done it for you. And then you just has so many of them. So it's just so many different. I mean, there's. Where is this one? I'll show you how many you get. You get in this one. Like I said, I think this is like $50 or under. It's been a minute since I bought it. But yeah, there's these chop loops are really cool too. They have them set up by genre too, which is nice. Like just a lot of them, man. Like a lot of them. So the next one that I'm gonna go ahead and show is Substance. This is the new. Y'all know I fuck with Output, man. Output gets the job done, and the this synth right here is just so dope, man. Cause the reason why I like it so much is because of the way that you can go in and go ahead and do your sound design, but it's really easy and it's graphical and it's intuitive. The presets on here are, you know, they're great. They have so many different categories. Dude, that's so good. Dude, I have so much fun just like sometimes I just turn this on and just fucking jerk around, dude. So cool. But again, the thing that I like the most about this is how easy the synthesis works. Like you can just start out with one oscillator, and then it's all visual, right? So from this category, you have all these different waves that you can try. And say I like that one, you know, then I can go into the sound and now start messing with this guy. Let me close this. We'll go ahead and turn them on. It's like you have the one shots and impact section, but you know, I've got this. I know I've got the sub underneath it, so I'm gonna try to put like a synth over top of it. Click OK. Turn volume up on it a little bit. And then we'll add something with this guy. And you have like every different type of instance that you could imagine a bass coming from. Again, you have low brass, you have bass guitars, simple synth, process bass guitars, organic hybrids, which is just all types of weird shit. I wonder what a prophecy sounds like. That's what a prophecy sounds. Of course, that's what a prophecy sounds like. It's so awesome. You know, it's just it's way too much fun and way too easy to just the picking of the oscillators, you know, by themselves. You can find something beast, you know, and then of course, you know, you could go in and edit. You know, if you want it to be monophonic, polyphonic, you know, if you want to transpose it up or down a semitone, or up or down an entire octave, if you wanted to be a stereo sound, a wide sound, or if you want it to be mono, you go into the different EQs for each sound. You can engage them or completely turn them off. It doesn't matter. The filters, each oscillator you can have a filter for, like the growler right here. This bandpass filter isn't conducive to, you know, what we want to do, so we'll put the low pass on it. You know, bring this out a little bit more. Listen to the sound now. It's just Jesus Christ, man, it's so fun, and it's so easy. You know, I'm all about these are the different effects that you can get into, global effects. And then, of course, it wouldn't be an output synth without their patented rhythm sections where you could go ahead and get these arps really going. And there's a bunch of information on these things. The arpeggiator is super easy to use. I've already made this video longer than I wanted to make it, but I mean, if you haven't fucked around with Substance and you're looking for a bass dedicated synth that is going to give you, you know, some really big, fat, just nasty tones, but that's easy enough to program so you could, you know, kind of forge your own sound, which is encouraged, I think Substance is the way to go. So just again to recap, your top 5 synths are Omnisphere, Elektra X, Serum, Contact Library EXO the Overdose from Studio Sounds, Evoxa from Echo Soundworks, and Output Substance with Keyscape coming in as a luxury synth, soon to be mainstay though. So this is Concrete Zero with Craftmaster Productions. Get that Christmas money, spend it wisely, and we will see you on the next one.